Everybody. We have a mix of NL50 and NL100 tables and running this morning. Here we're squeezing the ace-9 suited. Down here we pick up ace-9 suited as well, and we're going to be opening it. And over here we pick up ace-10 suited. So we did take this down with the ace-9 on the squeeze. We're going to be three betting here with the ace-10 suited. And then down here we've opened up the ace-9 suited. So yeah, we have, what do we got here? One, two, three. We have four NL 100 tables, three NL 50 tables up and running. We just won all those hands that we were just showing. Uh, okay, up here, let's just watch this hand. We will play out the King Jack suited. We're going to bump it up from the button. Okay. Okay, bump sixes. So yesterday we pretty well broke even. It looks like GG Poker has, for the most part, um, fixed up the three bet this some portion of the time. Spicy Kitten's relatively tight and opening 3x and from under the gun. So I think it's fine to just kind of let it go in that spot. But anyways, so they double adjusted, I think is what happened for our pool because we're in Canadian dollars versus USD. So they adjusted the rate of collection, assuming we were buying USD. Um, but it looks like they double adjusted because they did that, but they also changed the dollar amount that you're buying um, as well to Canadian, uh, which basically led to obviously just being like way below what the revised rate back was. So it's a bit shitty. It looks like most, because of the way GG naturally runs, where most villains are like losing one or two buy-ins, like regs, um, or they're like breaking even. Uh, Most have to cash out like every month your rake because that's like majority of your profit between rake and leaderboard, right? Um, so because of that, you're basically everybody's losing 10%, give or take. So we'll see how it all plays out. Some of the regs, obviously, if you have a bigger bankroll and you can like hold out for a year, then you're going to be able to cash out a massive chunk at the end of the year for your rake back. But I think for a lot of the regs, that's not necessarily a like feasible situation. So I guess we'll just kind of see how everything rolls from here on out. It's not the end of the world. You're still getting like 50% rake back or 60% or 70, depending what level you're at monthly. So, we're not going to worry too much in that sense. Plus leaderboards, so you're still going to be 60, 70, 80, 90%, depending where you fall on everything. So it's probably still one of the best options out there. It does just suck. It's just essentially it's just a small adjustment, but it's more money in GG's pocket, less money in ours. So anybody who is pissed off should realistically be pissed off about it. Uh, uh, so streams up and running. We're on YouTube. and Twitch. So I'm just going to pull everything up here. So just bear with me for a few minutes while we uh, work all this through and make sure it is up and running. We're so close to getting that first layer of monetization. So we are going to be trying to do some bigger streams. Stole my play. Okay, up here with the threes, we just defended. We're just going to be like check folding this board pretty much always. Unless villain checks back here, so because he checks back, I'm just gonna blast. If he calls, we're just done with the hand. But generally, if he's not barreling this board, he doesn't have much of anything. So we'll attack it, but we will just check down. Oh, you check back to 10-8, which is fine. Like that's a good check back. I just didn't really expect him to do that. And here we are squeezing obviously the ace king out of the big blind against two recreational villains. We expect some bad calls. Money's going in. Obviously, when you run into it, you run into it. And there's not much you can do about that, especially on a 60 big stack. Like, obviously, ace king's just kind of going in. Um, always, every time. We flop the king too, right? It's too bad. Okay. Well, we stackered there, unfortunately. Yeah, we're just like dead to ace, to running aces, basically. So, GG's, sir. Nice hand. Obviously, though, when you're up against a villain who's playing 60 VPIP, 30%, he's on a 60 big stack, there's no way the money doesn't um, get in there. So it's just a nice little run for him. Okay, here on table 5, we 3-bet jacks for half his stack because we expect him to obviously put the money in a whole bunch. And even with the queen out there, we're just going to blast it in. I think we're probably crushed to quantum here, unfortunately. So we are just going to be holding. Yeah. Down here is we have a great spot, obviously, to lead out on this board. Flush draw, two overcards, hit shot, etc. So we just attack, uh, obviously, in that particular scenario. Here we pick up ace queen. We will be 3-betting. Okay. And we'll see how Baxter reacts. If we get 4-bet, pull 4-bet, we fold. If Baxter 4-bets, we pretty much fold depending on sizing. And if he calls, we'll just play flops and see where that lands for us. He does call. 10-4-6. Not a super great flop for us. We do have lots of 10x though. Jack 10, Queen 10, King 10, Ace 10, pocket jacks, pocket queen, pocket kings, pocket aces. Him being out of position, it's less likely he has kings and aces in this spot. Queens he could have, or like jacks some portion of the time. And then he's just gonna have a lot of like suited connectors and one pair hands, and he has some 10x and stuff. But when we have the initiative, like it's just a relatively good spot for us to continue barreling. Uh, and when he does call, we just play turns. If he raises, we can fold um, and kind of go from there. So once he calls here, if we bet turn, we need to like bet small shove river. Um, but I think generally speaking, against this particular villain, if he has ace 10, king 10, jacks, queens, he's never folding. We still have some decent equity against like smaller pocket pairs. So I think we just kind of give up here a vast majority of the time. On this particular turn card is not very good for us. A jack, a king, a queen, an ace. Those are all cards we can proceed to double barrel a whole bunch. He does check to us again. When he doesn't lead out on the flush with like a block bet or something like that, I think it's definitely less likely he has the flush. It's more likely he actually called with like Jack 10 suited, Queen 10 suited, King 10 suited. Uh, and I don't, he loves to hero call, so I just think we kind of have to give up here. Yeah, he has pocket sevens, which makes sense. But he's not the type to fold that hand in that scenario. So we'll just check back and move on. Still like three bet, obviously. We still like the C bet on flop. Um, and then we basically double barrel any face card that popped up. And if nothing comes, then we just kind of check back. And there's not really a whole lot to do. Against this particular villain. Against like a Nittier reg, I probably would have like bet small on turn and then just shoved the river because they're folding like jacks and 10x a lot. Maybe not jacks, but definitely 10x. Um, but against this villain, he loves hero calling like a lot. So our lines, when it comes to like bluffing, are not going to be like exploitive. They need to be um, sort of proper, I guess, in those types of scenarios. And then we go for more value, obviously, because we know he likes to hero call a lot. So we try to take lines that make it look like we're looking like bluff or kind of thing. Okay, here we pick up ace 10 suited and we'll bump that up. Okay, up here we get tiny three bet from the fromage. We will defend here with the ace 10 suited. We're not super happy about it, just like given his stack size, we're essentially calling his whole stack um, to a point anyways. And obviously we just brick this board, so we have to fold again. Lost a whole bunch on this table lately. Bunch to Baxter in a three bet pot. So we're definitely down this morning. We had a couple um, unfortunate runouts. Big one was at NL50 for like 160 bigs. We flopped. We called in the big blind with deuces. We flopped a deuce, led flop, overbet turn, went call, call, call. River was an ace. We shoved like 1.5x pot. He called. He had pocket aces. So obviously we got lucky, but on the flop in a sense. Okay. Three betting the ace 10 off down here. Okay. Once we get four bet, we are just folding the ace 10 offsuit. Pretty bad flop for us. We're gonna check there. So we've lost the majority of every hand for the last 20 minutes or so. So up here, okay, we just take it down. A little bit of a that's not really loose up, but I guess we'll pull off. P7 suited will bump. We do have a heads up table going, which again is certainly not our specialty. Okay, king 10 suited up here in the small blind. I fold here. Against a 50 big stack under the gun, I'm fine letting the king 10 suited go from the small blind. I don't want to call. Like, you could definitely argue calling there, but I just feel like calling is, losing play out of the small blind, especially against an under the gun open and with an aggressive um, reg. I don't know why I still have this guy fish tagged. I think it's because he spews called, but he's definitely not a wreck by any means. Okay, down here, pick up ace jack suited. And over here on the heads up table, he raised, we hit the queen. We're going to check two villain. And it looks like there is another NL100 table. Nope, never mind. Okay, up here we pick up pocket kings. Against this particular villain, we are just going to be blasting. And we boat up after he checks back. Wait, what happened here? Did he bet turn? He does bet turn. I am going to lead out here against this villain. I think he checks too often. Here we pick up pocket aces, raise, get called on button. Not a very good flop for us. Pretty good turn. We're going to start betting now. And up here it's king queen suited out of the big blind. We're going to three bet the cutoff open. And over here with king nine off, we're going to be folding. We do get one call here, so we are going to blast river as well. He's just going to have a lot of like pair plus in his hand. And then up here with ace jack, we raise. We do get called ace 10, so we did turn the ace. Just an unfortunate turn card for villain. Okay, and up here we three bet pre, villain called, flop went check check, we bet turn, he called. Um, I'm gonna, I'm just gonna value bet river myself. I don't really expect villain to bluff at us too often here, so I think we're better off, or to make a thin value bet. So we're better off betting small and trying to get like Jack X to call. I guess the full pot, pocket sevens. You could call here some portion of the time, but we'll let this one go. And over here we do get value with our king queen. Again, just a hand he would have definitely checked back. Fold seven deuce. Am I streaming? I should be streaming. Yeah. Let me check and see if Twitch is open. Okay. All right, we just had a couple tables die out here. Fold, 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 fold. Okay, bottom left here, we defended ace 10 versus an under the gun open. Be defending here. Okay. Okay. We do win the heads up battle over here with King 9 suited versus Ace 10 bluff. And the Ace 10 we win against Ace 6. All right, got to get the lobby opened up here. See if there's any tables to join. So there's currently no tables at all to join. So we'll slip into an NL25 table. Just because there's nothing else and running. And with the new need volume is over here Queen 9. I'm not sure if I want to value bet this river or not. I think against a big whale we'll value bet because I think he'll call like 4 and pocket 5s and like ace X too often versus having a 10. Definitely has 10s. It's this guy. Okay. Okay. Okay, heads up table here. We have Queen 9. We called. We're going to check raise a lot of the time here. Up here, we opened the Queen 9 suited. Flop went check, check. Turn went check, check. We hit the 9. We're value betting. And we take it down. Okay, pick up deuces here. Okay, villain just pretty quickly folds. Okay, pick up pocket aces down here. We raise, we get called. And we're just blasting. And villain pretty quickly folds. Just trying to find, there it is. I had one of these shut down. Okay, limped pots here, checks around. We hit the jack. We're just gonna lead out here. Whoops. Oh, that's terrible timeout. Imagine, like, so over here we just timed out with pocket tens and the cutoff. Pretty gross. Will be really gross if it goes call call and flops like ace ace ace. And we'll bump queen seven suited from the cutoff. Okay, Quantum is over here on Twitch. Welcome to the stream. So we have no action there with the Jack 10. Baxter with a massive 4-3 bet. Not sure what that's all about. but we can just fold everything. That table, yeah, that table should be good now. So 10-5 suited, we're folding. We do have another NL25 table here, so we'll pull that up as well, just to have the volume available. So we have full 8 tables. So now we have a mixture of NL50, NL100, and NL25. If you guys are just checking out the stream, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button as well. All help promo the stream and the channel. And definitely I do appreciate all of that. So currently, I haven't updated this bankroll here. Actually, I should do that right now. Let's do it. Let's just do this quick. Unlock here. Okay, we'll sit on table, I guess, for now. I'm just going to update the bankroll here. I'm not going to update for including this session because it's probably a little bit less right now. Basically, about 7,700 is where the bankroll is currently sitting. Okay, up here we pick up Ace King against Ed Won't. We got it in against his kings previously. I think it was the same table, and I think he was sitting over here. Um, Quantum says medium so far, volatile AM so far. Yes, we've kind of been in the same boat for the most part. Ed Won't makes the call. Queen 9-10 board is going to hit quite a bit of his range. I think we still bet here quite often. Snap calls. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough to continue on this particular board. If we could erase the 9, sure, then we'd be jamming and attacking significantly more often. But the 9 makes it relatively hard for us to keep blasting there, unfortunately. So I think the NL100 tables, we are definitely right down like a couple hundred so far this morning on all of the tables, not NL100. Um, but just not a lot's been going our way in a lot of spots. I like how like the poker craft needles you in your timeline. It's just like huge loss. You're like, oh, thanks, lovely. That's what I want. So we're actually, yeah, we've been on a bit of a just losing big pots sort of scenario. So a bit of a roller coaster. We went 0 to 100 and then lost that massive pot where we got two outed on the river, which brought us down to -20. And then we ran it back up to +80. Then we lost a big pot at NL100, which brought us all the way down to basically down 80. And then we since climbed it back up to +20. And then we just lost that 3-bet pot. And we are now back to -20. So a bit of a roller coaster this morning for the chart. I'll just wheel it over here so you can kind of get a bit of a glimpse of it, of the up and down. So winning all the small pots, then losing the big ones. Is a little bit difficult to continue on. You can pick up ace queen suited over here at the NL25 table. But anyways, we'll put that away for now. Okay, we're just going to check with the ace queen. Villain check. So we're just going to go for some value here now. I think once we check flop, he'll call a lot of his ace X now, but flushes he would have been for sure betting with. Okay. Man, as soon as you get down, like as soon as you lose your time banks, you're cooked. It's just difficult, especially if you end up with a difficult decision. There's not much you can do about it. Okay, we're gonna bump the king jack off here. But, so all the tables are pretty good right now. Definitely right at all of them, which we obviously expect to have a pretty significant advantage over. Here at the king jack, we value bet obviously on the flop. Okay. Wow. This is like a great table. We're gonna let the a7 off go though. Okay, up here against Ed, we flop two pair. He called out of the big blind. He does call again. Okay, we boat up on the turn. I think we probably just have to keep blasting here. If he has like 6-7 and club draws and like or like 9-10 hearts and that kind of stuff, he's gonna continue. And he did tank a couple seconds before checking, which generally means they're considering if they want to bet or what they want to do or raise. Um, so we're obviously in a fantastic spot here. So we're just going to call. Let me make sure I get the right hand up. Yeah. So we're just calling here. Um, and then we're just going to let him hopefully jam. And hopefully that doesn't kill the action, which it just did. Uh, I don't know if he's willing to fold the clubs or not. We obviously have the best hand here. I'm just hoping he's. Damn it. The turn check raise. The club, he might have just. I don't know if he gets scared enough on that club to completely give up if he has a jack X. Like, I feel like he's just going to, like, check call a lot. Um, but I don't really necessarily think there's any way to play that hand, but I don't know. It might be best to put it in on the turn. Because once he check raises that big, and he only has 60 behind, um, like, I don't think he's ever folding. Like, I don't think he's folding Jack 10, Jack Queen, Jack King. Uh, and the delay on the paired Jack makes me think that he had a made hand over anything else. And it might have been best. But I mean, if he had pocket fives, pocket eights, he's never folding, obviously, rivers. Like, the only hand he probably folds there's like a bad Jack. And I don't even know if he folds that to a pot size bet when the heart rolls in. Um, but point being, when he commits that much, if he has like a combo draw or a pair or something like a plus combo, we might be able to get all the money versus not getting all of it. Hard to say. But all the times he's bluffing, you get, I don't know. Just villains, they're bluffing. They do it like one street and then give up too often. So it's kind of a tough spot where if we think he has a big draw, it might be best to just click the money in there. But generally, like being in position, it's best to just call there and then give them the chance to bluff rivers. Um, Flip side is they're not going to bluff with their busted draws and stuff very often. So we kind of end up maybe missing some value where they would call if we just like clicked it in. Hard to say. It's also possible that we could have just like bet small on the river there. Yeah, I think our play's fine. I think we want to go for all of it. The times um, that they have like a nutted hand, like a jack X or a flush themselves. They could easily have a flush themselves that they're checking. So I think we just, you know, jam. It's also tough to think if he was bluffing and the club came in that he doesn't shove it. Is kind of the other, counterpoint. Okay, down here with the ace 10 offsuit, we're gonna bump that up. Jack 10 suited, we 3-bet. Uh, Flop went check, check. We're gonna check turn as well. Down here, kings, we're gonna open them up. Yeah, and we are just gonna give the Jack 10 suited to villain on the 3 hearts facing a big bet. Yeah, no action with kings. Appreciate everybody checking out the stream. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you are hanging out. So we are taking NL 100 shots. Actually, I'm going to change the title for once here on the stream. Just maybe to stir the interest a bit. Sorry, just bear with me here for a minute while we update everything. Okay, fold, 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 fold. That should be all updated now. There we go. King 5. So we thought about 3-betting the 6-7 suited on the last hand, but again, against like a super tight villain. We're still going to do it some portion of the time, but against the 3x, we can be a little more conservative at times. Okay, up here we pick up pocket aces. Okay, we get 3-bet from Baxter. So we are going to be 4-betting him. He 4-bet us, obviously, like if roles were reversed, we 3-bet, he 4-bet. The aces we just call quite often. But in this scenario, we just want to be blasting here. And then we're basically just going to go small bet, shove, which is kind of what we would do anytime we're bluffing. So we want to be mixing in our strong value hands. Again, and against this villain who likes to hero call, we kind of want to give him the chance to do that. He does raise us, which is interesting. Obviously, we don't care if he has 3s, 6s, 7s. Like, we're just trying to get all the money in, and we just want to think about the best way to do that. And basically, what it comes down to is what does this raise actually mean? And is he doing it with like a nutted hand? Like 10s, jacks, the queens are going to kill that action quite often. So what I'm going to do here is actually bet really small and hope he thinks we're just trying to induce him into showing down cheaply. We just got burned on another table. We flopped the nuts. He called flop. He ends up calling there. I think I'm actually going to shove this. I know we kind of set it up to make it look like a bluff. Um, it's really unfortunate though when he does turn around and show like pocket queens here. But yeah, we're just going to jam. The whole point of that tiny bet was trying to like check. Oh, for fuck's sakes, man, we run so fucking bad. I want to get fuck that guy. Obviously the money's going in there when he calls a four bet with pocket sevens in that spot. There's not much we can do. Put the money in, unfortunately, but the plan, I think, when we're just so short in our stack to like just shove river ourselves is fine. Obviously, this guy runs better than the sun and thinks it, but what do you do? Nice answer. Okay, we're gonna three bet the tens over here. So okay, over here we have tens. We're just looking to obviously get all the money in. So it's actually so this table goes set for set. If we get one outed here, it's happened before. He overbets again, which is interesting. I want to jam here, I think. So I'm jamming here because he probably thinks I'm tilted and might do this with like 7-9 or 9x or diamonds, like that hand range versus necessarily just having an 8. And also we're at a position and the board's getting wetter and wetter and wetter. So I think check shoving here against like him having queens, kings, aces is better than like us calling. And then a 9 or a diamond or a jack or something like that rolling off, and then never getting paid from villain. I think that was a big pot too, wasn't it? Yeah, of course it was. 120 big blind pot. Okay, gotta love it. It is kind of like telling a bit. Like I don't know if you would ever argue getting away from it when he raises flop in that scenario, because it's like kind of what are your bluffs, but against that particular villain who likes to kind of spew here and there, it's tough to do anything but obviously just like station down and lose with aces versus set. 100 bigs, 120 bigs deep, four bet pot. Like there's obviously nothing to do but like get the money in there. Okay, we're just gonna check back second pair here. Okay, and we'll just check down. Should actually be putting in a value bet there on the river, I think, but it's tough to get called by worse. A lot of his like hands that are gonna call, it would be like a jack X, and then it makes trips on the river. So, but I could definitely value bet there for sure, some portion of the time. Okay, I do appreciate everybody who is checking out the stream on Twitch and YouTube. We are taking in a 100 shots currently, looking to keep growing the bankroll as we move along. Been a bit of a slow start here. We've lost some pretty big pots. In scenarios, there's not really anything else you could do, obviously, but frustrating nonetheless. Okay, GFMLU, we are going to be betting here. And then against this particular villain, I'm going to tiny bet turn. And then I'm going to tiny bet river and then call a raise. It does end up just folding. They pick up kings under the gun over here. Okay. If you guys are on YouTube, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do hit that thumbs up button. And if you're over on Twitch, feel free to follow along. Okay, up here we have a marked recreational. We got 3-bet from small blind against our under the gun open. We do put in a small 4-bet against this villain, keep him in the hand. Unfortunately, he does end up just folding. Obviously, that's a non-standard size, kind of adjusted for a recreational player. Okay, 3-betting the ace jack suited over here. And we're just going to barrel down here. And I'm going to fold here versus the donk lead and then the raise. Pretty clear cut, get the heck out of the way spot. So bankroll's currently sitting at around 7,700 when we started the stream. We are definitely below that currently. I don't think it's quite as bad as we thought because we've won some hands. Like we did lose that big 120 big blind. Well, it's 240 big blind pot with the aces versus sevens in a 4-bet pot. Wow, really? Eh? So we 3-bet here, and then this guy just like pots this flop. Uh, I mean, it lets us get away. Like we don't have anything, so we are obviously just like folding there. But it's kind of an awkward play. I just imagine he has like pocket sevens or pocket fives or something. Okay, so up here we raised the ace 10, villain called, or limp called, I think. Or no, we just raised, he called it at the big blind. We bet flop calls, and given stack sizes and lots of draws and stuff out there, we're just going to be jamming. Turn. Pretty standard. Villain does end up folding. But again, any 10x, some eights, flush draws, club draws, pair plus draws, etc. are all calling, so we'll just put the money in. Up here we open. This guy calls again. He's the one who just called the 3-bet and then potted flop. And then he donk led this board. Obviously we call, he checks, we're just betting now. And we take it down. Yeah, it's been a bad run there, Quantum. That's for sure. I have not been running very good lately. Or at least this morning so far. I knew it. All right, we gotta stop calling and start listening to our hands, or to what we actually think villain has. He basically just, I didn't have the table pulled up, but he donk led like turn, and I kind of knew what he had, and we just called down anyways. Bad play. Can't be doing that. Very costly. Okay. Terrible board here, obviously, for us. So if he blasts again, we're just going to be letting it go. Yeah, just folding. So against this particular villain, it seems anytime you check to him or he has the lead, he's just betting. Um, so obviously in this scenario, we're just going to be looking to hit a hand against him. Um, and then look to, okay, he just shoves it. Interesting. Okay, so we'll keep this table up because there's lots of action with this one villain. He just open shoved. He's pot shoving. Just doing a lot of random stuff and kind of gambling, well, obviously gambling. So we'll look to try to take advantage of that. Yeah, so we're down about a buy-in. Let's see what we're at for NL 100. Yeah, pretty much down half a buy-in at NL 100, which is fine. So we basically um, set a stop loss for ourselves at NL 100, where if we draw three buy-ins, we're just going to move on and eliminate the shot and then just rebuild. Not that we don't have the bankroll for it, but we're just trying to like main sure because it's been a while. Like we did play up to NL 500, but it's been a while since we've been back at NL 100. Last time we were playing NL 100 was around this time last year, and we were crushing it. Like we've always been like actually beating the rake. Like our win rate at NL 100s generally been like 12 BBs per 100. The rate's about 10. So Hold'em Manager tracks it out to be about 2 buy-in profit. But then we went on this mad downswing. I think you can actually go back through the streams and find it where we went from like 2K up to like 13K in like a month and a half. Uh, and then we just essentially lost every single hand we played of poker for almost like 2 months straight. Uh, and then we've come out of it, obviously turned it around, but like we lost like 5K or 6K, at NL 100, which is pretty insane. Obviously, it was started off as a downswing and turned into like playing horrendously bad, sure. Uh, so, anyways, point being, we're back to taking shots, and we'll just make our way out of it and keep rolling. I think we've come out of that downswing mentally stronger, though, which is good. Still get annoyed by all the like rando bad beats, which shouldn't actually be a thing, but it definitely is. Okay. Okay, up here we just defended the ace-8 versus the button open. Pretty good flop. We check calling. We have some backdoors with the 8 of diamonds, and obviously top pair. And now we have trips. He checks. Yeah, let's think for a second and value bet ourselves. And villain folds. Okay. Ace queen suited. And we're squeezing. Obviously, it's a very good squeeze position. We're not looking to get crazy here against an under the gun open, though. Who does click it back to 31 bigs. Obviously, we are going to call here. But we're just looking for like Obviously, if we hit an ace or a queen, the money's going to be going in. Um, if we hit hearts like this, then we're in a great spot. And I'm actually just going to open jam here. The reason is that I'm never folding. But if he jams, he might jam like ace king or like pocket sixes and stuff. But if we jam, we might get a few folds out of hands that we otherwise wouldn't. And then obviously the hands like aces, kings, the money's just going in no matter what. So, oh, fuck me. So we four bet ace jack offsuit and just things. Obviously we have tons of outs, but super annoying to see that. Oh my god, I'm so tilted right now. It's like probably the most tilting hand that he could have in that scenario. Fuck this. And stuff like that's so tilting. Um, well, I was unsure about this villain, but I think we can definitely confirm that he is a donkey for sure. Um, but what do you do? Okay. I think there's no other way to play that hand. Personally, obviously we have to call the small four bet. I think four betting there's. I don't know what GTO says. Maybe it's not, but I think four betting there's like pretty horrendous. Can we chop up with a straight down on the other table? Eh, hey, can we pick up ace jack suited? Okay, we're gonna try to turn this around here because we are getting a little bit tilted now. Just been running kind of shitty, which is standard when we move up to NL 100. Sorry. And I'm kind of just I have an NL, I have a heads up table that I'm not paying attention to at all, so I might dip it into that. We're just like folding every hand. Well, we'll give him a here. Let's give him one of these, and then we'll give him a nice hand. Um, just an unfortunate run out. Again, I think the way we played the hand was fine. I actually like the shove on the flop. Oh, here it comes. So we continue to lose a lot of the big pots this session, unfortunately. We are due for a downswing, though. We've been kind of crushing lately. River says, I wish you good luck from Fant. GG's. Thank you, sir. So up here, this guy like flicks it back. I think we're just gonna defend against that particular villain. He just pots it for 24. Okay. Once Jamie calls, we have an easy fold. If Jamie didn't call, I'd probably just like station down here with the 5, given how villain plays. But once Jamie calls, it's too likely he's going to have like Jack X. Could have some spade draws and stuff, but once you're stuck in the middle and you get a bet and a call and a tiny little three bet pot and everything else. Okay, so we just defended big blind up here. Given this guy's stack size, we decided not to squeeze. And we do turn a straight. Obviously, we checked flop. And get shoved into. Oh, beautiful spot here. I think once he's called 20 bigs, we just have to put the money in at this point. Yeah, I think we just jam here. Yeah, perfect. Ace king and nines. Okay, so we still have tons of it. So basically, as long as we don't see anything that's out there already, we're actually in a decent spot because this guy has two ace kings. So it cuts down on the amount of outs that these villains have to vote up. So we need no ace, no king, no jack, no nine. And it's six of hearts. Nice. Okay. So we get some of that big chunk we just lost back. So happy with that. Still got ways to go though, considering we lost two four bet pots. Both are good equity. Obviously, the aces you expect to be ahead most of the time. And we'll just three bet, obviously shrinking our three bet sizing given stack sizes. We flop two pair, back real quick. Normally I would go three quarters here with value, but given stack size, I'm just going to go half pot and try to collect some calls. Okay. Goose here, fold, 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 fold. Okay. Quantum says, I love the shove with the ace queen there. What are your thoughts? It makes sense. Yeah, thanks. I think it was a well played hand. Um, in my opinion, I think it all worked out pretty well. Obviously, we got it in with fine equity. Like that's the reality too. Without the flush draw there, we can just fold. Um, but the with the flush draw out there, we know like our equity is really good, and given the pot size, again, I agree that like shoving's the only play in that scenario that makes the most sense. Oh no, did I not have the stream open or on the right page for that whole hand? Okay, we're back to it. Yeah, sometimes I click off because my um, scene jumpers or like table jumper is actually my keypad. So when I'm typing in bets, they adjust. So we're gonna try to figure out. We gotta figure something out, anyways, to get that to stop. But I do appreciate everybody watching here. As you roll in, looks like there's about 7 people on YouTube, and we got 4 or 5 over on Twitch. Uh, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Okay, here we have pocket fives on the button, facing an open and a call. Okay, we're just going to float in here. And we're going to defend the five. He checks. We're going to check back. Yeah, I do have to fold here. There's just too many. Like, he's going to bet every single hand that's out there, this particular villain. So, and it's a board that's going to hit a bunch of his calling range, unfortunately. Um, so we'll just get out of the way, essentially. Let's just check tables, see if there's much going on anywhere. There's no other tables loading, so we have all the NL100 tables open. We have all the NL50 tables open. Um, so we'll just keep kind of ripping through here. Okay. So far we're down about a buy-in and a half um, on our NL100 shot. Here we get ECRA. Three betting, but they three bet too small. We just call with fours. Obviously, this board we can just check fold. It's a very easy play because their three bet is too small. We can call more with pocket pairs, even at a position. Right here, we are playing a heads up match against Zynex. We three bet the king queen off. Calls. Flop's pretty good. We'll just check here. The villain. Villain checks back, and now we're just going to go small bet, small bet. I just don't expect him to have much here. So we're just trying to extract some value. He raises, we call. Hearts roll in, we check. He checks back. Okay. Pretty much as expected there. Heart's actually a good card. He's not going to have hearts that check back flop very often. And when he does randomly have a jack, it'll slow him down a little bit. So um, we can still pick off all of his bluffs while lowering like our risk, I guess, when he has like a jack in that scenario. Even like it might seem scary, but like even if he shoves river there, like I think we have a pretty easy call because he check back flop and just like villains don't check back flush draws ever. They just bet them, um, which is generally fine. But if you're never doing it, then when he shoves river, I don't think he's doing it with like Jack X very often. Um, because I don't think he's going to go through the thought process of being like, well, I never have a flush because I would have c bet flop and so on and so forth, and therefore he can shove jacks and try to get called by queen X, knowing that I don't have a flush. Like I don't think they're going to go that deep into the the thought process or whatever. Um, I guess we'll just defend queen six suited, but this is a losing play, like calling here. So realistically, we should just fold. A lot of people make that mistake of overcalling in the big blind because they think they're getting like pot odds to do it, but it's actually like the more people that call, the tighter you call out of the blind. Because the reverse like implied odds are like way, 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 way worse. So we hit a queen, we probably lose. We hit a six, we probably lose. You know what I mean? Like we basically need to hit a flush to win anything and not be like counterfeit or dominated in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so let's focus back in here. Okay, over here we bump up the Jack 8 offsuit. Shovel spades, three bets, we'll just let the Jack 8 off go. Then we're actually just going to switch over to a min open three-handed. Kind of for two reasons. One, it gives just a little bit more post-flop playability, and the villains don't like three bet necessarily enough. So when they do, we kind of get away cheaper. The counter to that is that, you're also winning less post-flop. Um, it's a natural advantage because villains will properly defend, I think, against like the 2.8 or 3x opens. Um, but against um, the min open, villains are naturally under defending, so they don't defend enough of their range, which gives us sort of you're already playing at an advantage against them. We do turn the seven, so we can check back here, and then I'm just going to call rivers and value bet myself if he checks. He does have some 3x. I think he bets the jacks here, though, like Jack X. Um, yeah, so I think we go three-quarters pot. Anything else? Yeah, I think this is the perfect sizing, realistically, to try to get like ace X or king X to call. Okay. I think I'm going to call here. Um, unless villain has a three, which is certainly possible, like three ways. Uh, Probably have the best hand at least some portion of the time. I don't think he re-raises Jack X here, and if he does, like, well played, sir. Okay, I'll be right there. He did end up having three, which is fine. Sometimes I give shovel spades too much credit, I think, for actually being willing to bluff. So we three bet here, get called by ace-6 and lose. Over here, we three bet ace-king, get called by ace-jack off and lose. So far the shot's not going great. I think we're playing fine. I think it's just a matter of like hands are not going our way at all today on any of the tables, realistically. Okay, win a small pot, threes. Here with the ace jack against 4x open, we'll just fold. Okay, so did we three bet properly there? That was our fault. So this hand was our fault completely. Like not this, but we like I don't know. We just weren't paying attention, I guess. But if you can look at our sizing, 10 big is terrible against the 3x open. So especially like 200 bigs deep. So just leave that there. Okay. We're just gonna go grab a quick nibble. We won't be long. I'll be gone for like 5, 6 minutes, and then we'll be back to the grind. Today we do get this guy floats flop turn and then bluffs river when check two. We call it off with tens, of course. Take it down. And up here, five, three bet. And the ace jack here. We can open up. Fold to 7-5. Okay, down here we have sevens. Okay, just all the other tables we're sitting out on now. So we'll just be here for a minute and then back to it. Okay, you're gonna check back this flop. Oh, it's a big bet. Definitely call. Checks, and we'll just check back river. Nice. Kind of a scenario where you're only uh, getting called by worse there. Okay, fold 9-5. Okay, once that hand ends, we'll be just taking a quick 3-4 minute break, so don't go far. We'll be right back to it. Pull up how bad we're losing right now. And it could be worse. So we are down 200. Most of that's at NL 100. Let's just run this quick before the break kicks on. All right, there's the break. Breakers. Oh, down 60 at NL 50 and at NL 100. We're down 100. So basically down a buy-in at each. It's a little bit over a buy-in at each stake. No big deal. Okay, we'll be right back. We're back. I'm trying to get things turning around here, hopefully. So it looks like ECRA has dipped. Okay, we're back. Okay. Hand brewing up here with the ace king. Gonna be whoa, what's going on here? Three betting the ace king against the under the gun open. So far nothing special. Obviously at NL 100, Sid the Nitty Kid plays up to NL 500. So it's one thing you will find at these NL 100 tables in this pool is that like a lot of the regs. There's like the regs that play NL 100 and NL 50, and then there's the regs that play NL 100 up to like NL 500. And then you have a few who only play NL 200 to NL like 1K. So as long as you know who they are, you kind of know what you're up against. But for the most part, we've played against pretty much every reg at the site on every single stage. Um, I haven't really run into anybody who runs us over. There's a few guys where we just kind of they play really aggressive and they're kind of all over the map, but you only play them 3 or 4 times, so you don't actually get like it's not necessarily like getting a feel for them, but like kind of run you over until you sort of realize what's going on and then have the chance to actually play some hands against them. Um, so we currently have a mixture between NL25 and NL 100. Um, yeah, so we have one, two, three NL 100 tables, two NL 50 tables, two NL 25 tables. And that's about all that's running right now. Should actually pull this up and see. Yeah, so there's still no more. Like I'm sitting heads up at NL 50, nobody's joining. There's no NL 100 tables started. It's actually surprisingly slow considering it's like 7:30 on a Sunday. We do defend at the sevens at some portion of the time. You're not getting like cleanup. Yeah, yeah. Looks like some of the NL50 tables have filled up a bit more. What we want to do is get rid of these two NL25 tables, realistically. Um, Tables are still dead though. Nothing's opening. People are waitlisting. Nobody's starting. Right? Jack five suited. We're just gonna fold. So we're down a bit so far, but a lot of the stream hasn't been. Hands haven't been really going our way much, so it's difficult to um, get ourselves into that spot. You guys are watching what the ace nine suited right now. Fold here. Okay, we're gonna dip out one of these NL25 tables. I'm gonna keep this one with this Michael J. Falls 84 guy, because he's just kind of spewing every single hand. Uh, we didn't really want Indian Queen to stay in the hand. With the top pair and the open-ended straight draw here, we just put it in. They didn't call, so they don't have a five. So fine with that. I gotta reread some stuff here. Okay. So that guy's adjusted his play a little bit since the last time. So I think we're giving a few people too much credit for being willing to bluff, or we're just kind of in one of those sessions where we're running into everything. So we'll see. One particular villain, I won't mention the name, um, based on how he used to play, has been kind of owning us. And I think it's a bit of a combination between us not paying enough attention to what he's doing now. Okay, so up here, we bet flop villain called. With card on the turn, I'm going to check back here. We'll just play rivers. Snap leads, half pot. Hmm. Probably just going to continue stationing and losing here. Okay, yeah, okay. We gotta stop calling so much. We're just giving. Well, we're. It's hard to say. Like, I don't want to deviate too much from normal, but um, we're kind of just like giving chips away right now. We're just like calling way too much um, in a lot of spots. Okay, we're gonna go after this Michael guy. Oh, we gotta readjust some stuff here with some tables. Okay. Microphone's back on everywhere. Okay, I think we're good. We do get kings over here, but unfortunately, no action. So the session's been cold. Kind of when we have hands, it's been either we've been getting burned with them, um, or we're getting no action. Um, and then like all of our bluffs have been getting picked off, and then we've also been like stationing too much. So all in all, we're not playing the greatest right now. So should hopefully be able to turn it around. Plenty of fish currently at the tables, or recreationals, I should say, sorry. So hopefully we can get that going. Looks like we're losing a wreck on one of the NL50 tables. Ace Jack versus aces all in pre, like just a gift. For pancakes, running hot. Baxter cold calls out of the big blind over here. So we're going to obviously play extremely cautiously against that cold call to the point like I'm just going to check this board and not really look to do much. Against an under the gun open, a small blind three bet, and a cold call out of the big blind, like I don't know if he's just like spewing there a bunch, but like he should have an extremely strong hand in that scenario. Over here, we three bet the ace jack offsuit, flop top pair, top kicker, and a three bet pot. Pancakes calls. Given how wet the board is, we do lose to 6-7 now. We're beating a bunch though of like the jack X. He can definitely still have like king jack diamonds, queen jack diamonds, king jack, um, et cetera, 10 jack, like those types of hands that have diamonds in them. He can have jack X, he can have queens at some portion of the time. He can have like sync pairs, and then sometimes we run into like sets and stuff, but generally we just have the best hand here, so we're going to shove and turn. If the board was drier, sometimes we go like three quarter, but there's a lot of like combo draws. Villain can have that is just going to end up calling here some portion of the time. And when he doesn't call like right away, he obviously doesn't have a set. He doesn't have 6-7, and he doesn't have queens because all of those hands, of course, would have already called. Here we're three betting these queens suited. So at this point, we're just hoping villain calls. He likely has a jack. Is this most likely holding like king jack, queen jack? Yeah, he does end up letting it go. Okay, a bit of a hand here. I don't think there's much we can do but check now and maybe call river, maybe fold river. But basically, Baxter opened under the gun. We three bet GFMLU cold called um, out of the small blind, and then called the small C bet on flop, and then checked turn to us and checked river to us. There's no value bet here from us. We're just gonna end up losing some portion of the time to like ace king, um, which is like fucking yeah. This is I gotta do it. Yeah, it's like good play, man. So it's kind of been our day so far. Excessively tilting. Okay. So we open under the gun. Don Juan calls, and we're just gonna bet that shove. I think with Queen Jack here. Actually, he's showing propensity to like bluff when we check to him in these spots. So I'm actually gonna go check call, dead, um, and look to take pot down that way. Here we get check shoved on with ace nine offsuit. And it looks like villain had king jack. Okay. And we'll see if we can hold here with the kings. Okay, and we do end up holding here with kings and make a set on the river. And we're three betting the king jack off down here. And we pick up pocket kings over here at the NL50 table. Okay. And we're going to three bet ECRA here against the min raise. And down here, we're just going to be block betting river. Flop went, so we three bet, he called. Flop went check, check. We bet 3/4 pot on turn, he called. River's a spade, and we just block bet river. And we win against pocket sevens. And here we are throwing a three bet out with king nine suited against Baxter's under the gun open, and he folds. Okay, so there is another NL50 table up and running. And there's another NL100 table up and running. So we're going to jump in on the NL100 table. I'm sure it will fill pretty quickly as soon as the rest of the regs realize that it's up and running. Okay, up here we're going to set mine the fives this time. The reason being that we are deep, so, and we obviously call some portion of the time even when not deep, but when deep, definitely calling here. Okay. We're just going to call. I'm not going to lie. I should have check raised flop here for sure. And I think we're just going to take a call line now. He's got two major hands brewing. We've got these fives, and we down here we have boat that got it all in at the NL50 table versus ace jack. And we'll get back to the fives up here. We do lose the queen 10 on that king. And we lose this jacks, pocket aces, pocket kings. We just have to call. Oh man, god damn it, man. Okay, well, I think that's pretty well it for NL100 then. That's our three buy-ins there right now. It was kind of obvious when he tank shoved that river, though. We could probably get away from the fives, I think. But there's so many two pairs in his range and stuff like that. Um, okay, fold here, fold here. We got queens down here. Man, we can't win a hand to save our life. I swear to God. Every time we jumped in on 100, like, this game's cursed. Like, fucking cursed, bro. Yeah. So we're down 300 bucks today. Pretty much all. So we were almost coming out of it. We were coming out of it, and then we just run into the straight. Man, oh man. Well, I suspect we're going to be potentially ending the stream here soon. We've dropped a shit ton of buy-ins in some gross spots. Can't fold a set there, obviously, when it just is what it is, you know. I don't know. You could argue maybe folding that river, to be honest. I think it's tough to be beating worse. But again, like this guy just, it's hard to believe you're going to lose every hand to him. Is kind of the issue. Yeah, that's Piney on flop, gets there on turn, and then jams. Yeah, it's not even that big of a jam. It's like 125% pot. The flush draws miss. Like we really lose to jacks, aces, kings. But there's so many ace jack, ace king, king jack. Like, but he never jams those. I don't know. It's a gross spot, that's for sure. We're gonna try again here though with the fives. Okay, diamonds drop. Okay, we boat up on the river. I think we just have to go for some value here. Okay, we do get called. Okay, collect a little bit back here anyways. Yeah. Wonder if we check theirs better and we get check shove versus the diamonds maybe. Okay, over here we pick up ace king. We get no action. Okay. Well, I'm just going to try to power through here a little bit. I'm just going to check our stop loss to make sure we're not dipping too far out of that, but very, very, very poor start. We've got to be down 3 buy-ins for sure. Okay, up here we 3-bet the tens against ECRA. He 4-bets. We are going to call and check full flop. For that small, we'll call 1. Uh, we're going to 3-bet the nines down here. Yeah, just get out of the way here now. Top left, he 4-bet, we called. Flop was king deuce 3. Oh, and Baxter dips. Oh, there's no chance of getting our money back against Baxter right now. So we're still a little bit tilted there from that last hand. Oh man, we just missed a massive C bet down here. Massive, massive mistake. That's a massive mistake. I am actually going to check raise this. Uh, just because this board smashes our range, we'll try to fix our mistake here. But okay, over here, the King Jack, we did raise. Okay, we did get out of that. He did bet. We did raise. He did fold. So we got it alive there. ECRA dips from the heads up table, unfortunately. Okay, fold King 5. So an unfortunate run there, but we were on such a tear this week; it was bound to happen. Um, it's only 300 though. Like it's only six NL, even NL50. Like it's only six NL50 buy-ins. Like it's not a massive, massive swing. So we can definitely work our way out of it. Here we have King 10, which defend. Okay. Pretty standard here. Just call down with the 10 of clubs. Up here, we're three betting the ace king offsuit. Down here at the queen eight suited, we decided to check again. We're going to let ECRA bluff here. And we're just going to call. Bump for the 6-3 suited down here. Fold 6-3 up here. Right. And we're just going to check call river as well. Um, we're just going to call, but we're going to readjust. Yeah, okay, never mind. We're not going to readjust. I was going to say, if he has the nuts here, we're going to readjust what we actually think about exactly how this villain's playing post flop. But that kind of gave us the check mark for what we were thinking. So pretty happy to see that. Down here in the heads up table, King 7 suited, we check flop, and then he checks turn again, so we decide to value bet. And given Lilash's stack size, we're going to 3-bet a bit smaller. And if anybody 4-bets us, we're just going to jam. Okay, and the money's going in. Okay. Just no sweat. Nice. Oh, he's got a sweat now, maybe. Okay, club. One time. Bang. Nice. Sorry, bro. Gross run out for him. Okay. So a little calm down there. Let's just woosah. 3 buy-ins is nothing. Like we swing that all the time at NL50. Uh, but again, like when you're shot taking, it's a little bit, it's double the stakes. It's a little bit more tilting when things aren't going your way. So uh, just gotta try to grind through it. Go from there. Okay. Here we pick up Queen at 10 in the small blind. And against pancakes, we're just gonna three bet. Um, Down here, we elected to just call, and now we're gonna try to trigger this particular villain um, to bluff us. So basically, because we have a tighter villain here in the big blind, happily just up here's a gross spot, but we can't do anything but shove with queens. But he like limp raised us, so um, you know, you expect to see the aces and kings a lot. Our ace king's fine. Sure, we can just run it a bunch. Would like to see the queen on this next run out. Okay. Yeah, this is gross. Okay, I was gonna say there's no way there's no way we can win all three in a flip. Okay, three betting the ace queen or the pocket queens up here against the other gun villain. And down here with the king queen off. Um, this guy four bets us again. We just got a terrible flop. Worst turn. C bets jacks. Like we just lose to everything now. And villains are not bluffing enough. Unfortunately, we're just losing this hand. It's just like it's not a lot we can do. You can't four bet. You can't like five bet shove against the four bet here very often. You have to call the small C bet, and then you just have the full turn. Unfortunately, and we just don't give credit to villains for bluffing, which is why those spots we have to fold. Okay, I think we're gonna end the stream a little bit too tilted, so